Hey everybody, I'm just sitting here in a little strip of forest in the Econ-Lockhatchee watershed in between my neighborhood over there and the next neighborhood over. Uh, Today I'm going to be talking about this wiry fellow right here, Calamagrostis Rubesces, otherwise known as Buckley Pinegrass. It is a grass, big shock there. As you can see, they tend to grow in pretty tightly packed clumps. They've got a fairly fibrous root system, and they help to keep soil together and keep it from degrading, which is good because it typically grows in either dry environments or environments with loose, sandy soil, much like most of this forest is. Uh, it survives pretty well in Florida because of that, and because they propagate fairly well after wildfires due to most of their mass being in their roots and rhizomes. Uh, they shouldn't really survive, or exist at least, that well in Florida because they're native to the very western and northern continental U.S., like the pine forests of California and Washington and such. But, you know, they're here. They're pretty common, actually. There's quite a bit of them in this area, especially. And that serves as a good example of how we have affected this landscape as conquerors or ecological community. You know, ignoring the neighborhoods and the drainage ponds they've had to dig to help with the neighborhoods, and all of the litter that I find on the shores of them and in this forest, this little fella right here, and the fact that Buckley pinegrass exists quite numerously in this area, that whole back right there is all Buckley pinegrass just surrounding that one retention pond. Um, it outcompetes and has largely driven out the more native plants like the palm fronds and the ferns that exist in profusion, like directly along the banks of the Econ-Lockhatchee, whereas farther away from it, you can find a lot of Buckley pinegrass. So, if we use this land as more of a community member of ecology than a conqueror of the land, then the Buckley pinegrass probably wouldn't be here. We would have more of the native ferns and palm fronds in this area. And if anything, the Buckley pinegrass would be more northward in central Florida in the even sandier regions. And that is my TED Talk. Thank you for attending.